It begins with a sheet of glass so fragile it could shatter with a touch. Yet from this delicacy, a window to the world is born. On a global scale, for every 3 television sets sold, one will have begun its journey right here in China. This is a nation that has harnessed the power of its vast population, creating a workforce that fuels colossal assembly lines operating around the clock. Behind these steel walls, a hidden world of meticulous engineering unfolds. Here, glass sheets thinner than paper, light-emitting diodes smaller than grains of rice, and millions of microscopic circuits are brought together with flawless precision. Each component is a testament to a process refined to near perfection. Out of this intricate dance of technology and human skill, a sleek and powerful entertainment machine emerges. We now step inside one of China's largest television factories to witness firsthand how this country ascended to become a true technological powerhouse on the world stage. On screens across the globe, a quiet battle is being fought. It is a contest not of armies, but of assembly lines and algorithms. The engine of China's dominance is more than just the roar of immense factories or the dizzying pace of production. It is a calculated strategy built for decades on the foundation of inexpensive labor. The method was patient and precise. First to observe and replicate Western technology, then to refine it, and finally to unleash it upon the world at a cost others could not match. This relentless approach has reshaped the market. In a world that buys over 231.2 million color televisions annually, a third of them now bear a Chinese brand. The philosophy is simple: faster, cheaper, and reliable enough to find a home in millions of households. Across the ocean, American electronics giants follow a different current, pouring vast resources into research and pioneering innovation to forge premium brands. Their products often carry a higher price, a reflection of a design ethos centered on durability and a singular user experience, rather than sheer volume. These two paths of development appear to be moving in opposite directions, yet their very divergence has carved the landscape of global industry, leaving an essential question unanswered. Which one will ultimately define our technological future? It began as a flickering box in a darkened room, a ghost in the machine, but it would soon become the heart of the modern home. The monochrome glow of mid-20th century screens gave way to the explosion of color in the 1960s, transforming television into a vibrant new medium. By the 1990s, a new silhouette emerged with the arrival of flat screens, turning the device into the centerpiece of the living room. As the early 2000s unfolded, light-emitting diodes brought another leap forward, crafting displays that were thinner, more efficient, and sharper than ever before. Yet the true revolution arrived with the smart television. This slim portal was no longer just for watching broadcasts. It could now connect to the internet, run applications, and serve as a central hub for family entertainment. Today, with 4K and even 8K resolutions housed in ultra-slim designs, the television has become a familiar presence. It is a window to the world, found in hundreds of millions of homes across the globe. Before a single screw is turned, before the first sheet of glass is cut, a modern television begins its life as a whisper of data. Here in China, technology firms are driven by exhaustive market research, meticulously collecting and dissecting every subtle shift in consumer desire. This analysis reveals how the sprawling living rooms of American homes demand immense screens for a truly cinematic feel. In stark contrast, the dense urban landscapes of Asia create a need for compact designs where every inch of space is precious, yet no feature can be sacrificed. These divergent demands dictate every choice in production, from the panel's size and its 4K or 8K resolution, to the seamless integration of voice commands and smart home connectivity. Millions of data points flowing from online surveys, customer feedback, and retail trends become the bedrock upon which engineers build. From this foundation, they draft intricate blueprints and construct detailed three-dimensional models. Only then is the stage set for manufacturing, where these digital concepts are finally forged into reality on vast industrial lines. It begins in a world of impossible purity, where the very air is a guarded secret. Within these vast, sterile chambers, the journey from design to reality starts with the television's heart, its screen. Here, humidity and dust are meticulously controlled, for a single stray particle could spell disaster, destroying an entire panel in an instant. The process unfolds as two impossibly thin sheets of glass, polished to a flawless finish, are guided onto the assembly line and fused together. Held between them is a layer of liquid crystal, the crucial substance that commands each pixel to illuminate or shift its hue. Etched onto the first sheet is a microscopic cityscape of millions of transistors, each one acting as a minuscule switch governing the flow of light. On the opposing sheet, engineers lay down a precise mosaic of red, green, and blue color filters. These three primary tones will blend at varying intensities to create millions of shades, painting our world with lifelike detail. To guide the light with absolute accuracy, polarizing films are bonded to the panel's front and back, directing the path of every beam. When all these layers are brought together in perfect harmony, a lightweight LCD panel is born. Millions of synchronized pixels now stand ready, forming the gateway that will bring the visual world to life. It is a canvas without a sun, a stage without a spotlight. The panel itself is powerless to illuminate the worlds it contains, its millions of pixels lying dormant until a hidden partner awakens them with a wash of brilliant light. This unseen system, the LED backlight, is what breathes life into the silent glass, transforming it into a window of moving images. On the sprawling assembly floor, the human touch remains essential. Skilled hands carefully mount delicate strips of LEDs along the frame's inner edges, each one meticulously positioned to ensure a perfectly even glow across every corner of the screen. These light-emitting diodes are astonishingly small, scarcely larger than a grain of rice, yet their combined power is enough to illuminate the entire display. Each diode is soldered securely onto a sheet of aluminum, a metal that serves a dual purpose as both a sturdy foundation and a crucial heat sink, drawing warmth away to keep the lights cool. But the raw light they produce is still too harsh, too concentrated. To soften this intense glare, the beams are passed through a sheet of transparent plexiglass, which scatters and diffuses them, erasing any hot spots or shadows. The refinement continues as layers of specialized optical films are stacked on top. These sheets work in concert to fine-tune brightness and balance color, sculpting the raw light into a uniform and natural radiance. When this completed backlight is finally married to the LCD panel, the transformation is absolute. A once lifeless sandwich of glass and liquid crystal now holds the power to display entire worlds. The screen can glow, but it has no voice. The backlight can shine, but it has no mind. To animate this silent display, it needs a heart and a brain, the electronic circuit boards that will breathe life into it. It is here that billions of signals will be processed, transforming light and sound into a complete sensory experience. Along the assembly line, technicians stand in disciplined rows, each responsible for a single precise task. With quick, steady hands, they populate the bare boards with a constellation of tiny components: transistors, capacitors, resistors, and processors. Each piece is a microscopic tile in a vast mosaic of control, a network that will dictate how images form and how sound travels. Once all the components are placed, the board glides through a shimmering bath of molten solder. Bright, even joints emerge, forging connections strong enough to ensure a stable flow of power. Yet even with this precision, human oversight is vital. Workers peer through magnifying lenses, scanning every pathway for the smallest flaw, because a single defective connection could silence the entire system. After passing inspection, the board is fastened to the frame with small screws and linked to the LCD screen and backlight. Flat, ribbon-like cables weave everything into a seamless network. On the main board, HDMI, USB, and LAN ports are added, serving as gateways for the television to communicate with the world. At last, the screen, the light, and the circuitry are united, turning a lifeless mix of glass and plastic into a smart machine, ready to turn silence into a hub of entertainment. A skeleton of circuits and glass now waits for its skin, Though its electronic heart is perfectly aligned, the television remains vulnerable without a final layer of armor to shield its delicate core from impact, dust, and the rigors of its journey to a new home. This protective shell begins to take shape in the high-pressure molding area, where plastic is forged with immense accuracy. Here, the front cover, side bezels, and back panel are formed, engineered to be both a fortress for the sensitive components and light enough for effortless handling. As these pieces arrive for final assembly, precision is paramount. Each part is meticulously positioned and adjusted to the finest fraction of a unit, ensuring it locks flawlessly with the fragile display and intricate circuits inside. Every connection is then secured with screws, clips, and thermal welds, fusing the disparate elements into one cohesive body. Even a misalignment of just a few millimeters could exert uneven pressure on the screen, causing it to warp or fracture. For this reason, every motion is measured, every placement deliberate and exact. As the outer casing closes around the core, the machine's transformation is complete. What was once a fragile assembly of glass and wire is now encased in a sturdy frame, built to endure the demands of daily life. The television no longer appears as a work in progress, but as a whole, polished and finished product. Each detail, secured with care, promises durability, stability, and years of vivid, uninterrupted performance. It gleams under the factory lights, a perfect mirror of the world. But before this television can reflect anything else, it must first survive a crucible of unforgiving tests. The ordeal begins with the very soul of the device, its image. A battery of ultra-high-resolution cameras and sensitive optical sensors scans every inch of the screen, hunting for the smallest flaw. They seek out dead pixels, those tiny imperfections frozen in darkness or perpetually alight, which would disrupt the seamless picture. The system then maps the landscape of light, searching for shadows where there should be brilliance or hotspots that betray the delicate balance of illumination. A torrent of color then floods the display. Gradient scales flow like digital waterfalls, while standard color charts and fast-moving video sequences challenge its ability to reproduce every tone. From the most vivid reds to the deepest blues, each shade is meticulously examined, as even the slightest deviation can shatter the viewing experience. From sight, the focus shifts to sound. The television's speakers and signal paths are pushed to their limits, cycling through a vast spectrum of frequencies from deep bass to sharp treble. Specialized microphones capture every note, comparing the output against precise technical standards to ensure the audio remains clear and free of distortion, whether in a quiet whisper or a thunderous explosion. Beneath the surface, the electronic circuitry undergoes an equally thorough review. Engineers armed with industrial magnifiers and advanced instruments inspect every solder joint and signal pathway. They verify that each component performs flawlessly, eliminating any risk of short circuits or broken connections that could compromise the entire system. Finally, the television faces the trial of endurance. It is powered on and off thousands of times, then placed inside chambers that simulate years of use in extreme heat and humidity. Powerful machines subject it to intense vibrations, mimicking the harshest shipping conditions. Only after surviving this gauntlet does the television earn its seal of certification, finally ready to leave the factory floor. Its screen is dark, its circuits silent. But this is the moment a machine awakens. Even after passing every grueling physical inspection, the television remains a hollow shell of hardware. The final step on the factory floor is to breathe digital life into it by loading the software that will transform it into a truly intelligent device. Technicians connect each unit to specialized computers, initiating a process that installs the core operating system and a suite of essential applications. This digital brain is what enables the television to do more than just display an image or produce sound. It unlocks its ability to reach the internet, access streaming platforms, and integrate with the wider home ecosystem. From here, engineers conduct a battery of functional checks. They meticulously test the remote control's responsiveness, gauge the stability of the Wi-Fi connection, and confirm that the system can juggle multiple applications without faltering. The user interface is scrutinized for its speed, clarity, and intuitive design. Only when every single feature performs flawlessly, from connectivity to navigation, does the device finally earn its title. It is no longer just a television, but a complete entertainment hub, ready to be carefully packaged and sent on its journey to living rooms across the globe. From a symphony of light and sound, it falls silent, sealed away for its final voyage. With assembly and inspection now complete, the television enters the last phase of its factory life, a careful preparation for the world outside. Each unit is carefully nested within custom-molded foam frames, its corners held fast to absorb the vibrations of the long road ahead. A shroud of anti-static material is then drawn over the body, followed by a layer of protective film, guarding its pristine surface from scratches and the elements. The protected television is then sealed inside a multi-layered carton. These sturdy containers bear the marks of modern logistics, batch numbers, QR codes, and production dates that allow for precise tracking through the vast supply chain. Inside every accessory, the remote control, power cord, and user manual is neatly arranged, ensuring each package arrives complete. Stacked onto pallets and wrapped in stretch film, the cartons are moved to central warehouses. From these hubs, thousands of containers begin their journey by road, sea, and air, fanning out to every corner of the globe. By the time it graces a living room, this device is more than just electronics. It is the culmination of a colossal industrial engine, where hundreds of hands and machines have worked in concert to deliver a single, perfect unit. It's a window into another world, yet the real story is what lies just behind the glass. Within sterile, clean rooms, screens take their initial shape, guided by hands that place each microscopic LED with painstaking precision. This is a realm of intricate circuit boards and the sophisticated software that gives them purpose. Through this process, China has harnessed its immense scale and workforce, transforming them into a colossal production engine. From this machine, hundreds of millions of televisions flow to households across the globe. Yet a fundamental question lingers. Can sheer manufacturing velocity secure this dominance against competitors who champion pioneering innovation and powerful branding?